Hello everyone, welcome back. Episode 14 of our No Man's Sky Permadeath Survival Challenge. Today we are going to learn how to salvage spaceships for the acquisition of nanites. So, I'm going to get right to it. I'm not sure how long this is going to take exactly. The first thing we need is to be in an Economy 3 system. And this system we're in right now is not. It's the only one that I have explored that is not a 3-star system. This is where we've got our base. But it does not have Economy 3, and I'll get into why that's important in a moment. The other thing that helps is for it to be a GEX system. And I'll get into that in a moment also. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through this list for ones that have a little beak. That's a GEX system. So right now things are organized in a way that is convenient for trading, but I think we're done with trading. So we'll just grab this first one here. That'll keep the rest of the list in order just in case we want it to be in order later. Only moving our current system past it. When you go to a system in that menu there, where you're selecting a space station to go to, whichever one you select gets moved to the very top of the list. So this will only shuffle things by one position right at the top. Alright, so now we are in a GEX system. And the reason we want a GEX system is because we want haulers. Haulers are the larger of the differing types of starships. I'll call out the different types to you as they come in. We're just going to watch down this runway as they come in. There are 4 kinds of starships, generally speaking. There's technically more than that, but the kinds you see most often are, that's a hauler. You can identify a hauler by its very large body shape. This one's long rather than wide, but it's quite large. The other 3 are shuttles, fighters, and explorers. So when a ship lands at a space station, or anywhere really, the pilot will end up getting out of that ship, and then you can talk to them. We've done this before on camera, I think. We have a trading interface that we can go into with them, and we can buy stuff or sell stuff. But we're not here for that today. We can also recruit them to our squadron, which will come out when we fight pirates or something like that. But the thing we're looking for is to make an offer on their Starship. And once we open that up and take a look, then we will see a class, and we'll see the inventory and tech and cargo and stuff that they have. Now, if we go in to negotiate price, then it'll tell us how much it's going to cost us to buy the ship. To buy it new, 15.5 million units. And we can exchange the ship that we currently have for it, but we don't really want to do that, so we're just going to be buying. So I'm just going to grab that. That's an A-class starship. That is quality piece of salvage there. So this here is a fighter. We can tell that it's a fighter because it's got a long nose, and generally fighters have long noses like that, and they often have wings sticking straight out of the side like we just saw there. We'll call it a few more identifying features in a little bit here, but so we have a ship, we want to salvage it. We're going to take ourselves over to the Starship terminal, Starship outfitting terminal, and we can do upgrades here where we can increase the amount of inventory or upgrade its class, but we're not going to mess with that right now. And The other option, other than upgrading, is to claim scrap. We want to make sure we have plenty of room in our inventory for this. I've already cleared out my inventory, so I'm not concerned about that. And all we do is we just tell it we want to scrap it. Now, we bought that ship for 15.5 million units, and we are scrapping it now for 10.85 units. It asks us to confirm because, you know, this could be a ship you like and don't actually want to salvage. We confirm that, and then it's gone. And we start seeing all this stuff popping up in the upper right that it gave us for salvaging that ship. That goes into our exosuit inventory. This is stuff we had left over from our little pirate thing the other day. I forgot to clear that out of my inventory. We're going to want to do that because we're going to want all the space that we can get. But disregard the stuff from here and on, but the stuff that we got was this. We got 3 living glass, we got activated cadmium, we've got stuff that here it says component is only useful as scrap sold at trade terminal. That is the bulk of what we're going to get. We get a bunch of this scrap. We can also get a Starship storage augmentation and upgrade components. These are the things we're most interested in. The rest of this, we're just going to sell. Now, the Starship storage augmentations, we're going to hold on to those. We're going to put those over here in our cargo tab where we can hold on to as many as possible. You can hold twice as much of a stackable item in cargo as in general tab. And we're going to hold on to these upgrade modules. You can see there it says a value of 300 nanites. If we sell that to a tech merchant, like we have right over here, it can be any one of them. It doesn't have to be the Starship tech merchant. But if we take that to a tech merchant, we say purchase upgrade modules, we go to sell, and now all of the upgrade modules that we have in our inventory are available to be sold for nanites. A-rank modules sell pretty well, usually right around that 300 mark or so. But any module will do. Now, the module grade, class, whatever that you get will be directly related. It will be the same, I should say, quality, class as the ship that you have salvaged. So that was an okay salvage. We got 1 upgrade module and 1 Starship storage augmentation. One of the reasons that we pick the haulers is because to me it seems that we get more upgrades and therefore more nanites per salvage operation from haulers. You spend a lot more money on them too. When you buy a ship, its price is based on how much storage it has. So the way this works out, about 3/4 of what you spend gets lost, and then you get, like if you sell this stuff here, you'll end up recouping, somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of what you spent, leaving you, after you do that, with these upgrade modules for nanites and these upgrade modules which you're going to keep and use on your own starships that you want to upgrade. Now the next one that we salvage, I'm going to go into the upgrade. Well, we're waiting anyway. It's taking a really long time. I'm just going to do it right now. So if we come in and we try to upgrade our starship, it'll say we can apply an augmentation like we just got, or we can purchase a storage slot. Now this number just keeps going up and up. It starts at 4 million, and as I recall, it goes up by 1 million every time you purchase an upgrade. And for something like my fighter, which has really very few storage upgrade already unlocked, you end up spending a ton of money trying to get it all unlocked. That hauler had like 30, this only has like 15. So you can see how that would get very expensive very quickly. That's why we want to hold on to those Starship storage augmentations, because that gets it to us for free. If you have to buy a few, that's okay, but mostly you want to stick to using these. So those are our targets for these salvage operations. And since we still don't have anybody here, I guess we'll sell some of it. Still waiting for a ship to show up. I'm going to run into the back room over here and sell what we've just picked up. Normally by now we would see some more starships coming in. But since we haven't, we'll take a little break to clear out our inventory so we have plenty of room for anything that might come in the future. I hate to sell the gold, but I really don't want to have to deal with it in my inventory, so that's what I'm going to do. We can get more later, it's not that big a deal. The cargo bulkhead, unfortunately, is just going to take up space. Let's see about putting that in our starship. Okay, yeah, we're okay. I have one space left over. Let's head back to the landing strip, flight deck, whatever you want to call this, down here where the ships land. Normally you don't have to wait this long for ships to show up. But if that's happened, and you're not seeing any ships at all, the thing that you want to do, hop into your own starship and hop back out again. That should get things running again. If it doesn't, then we'll go to another space station. Let's see how we're doing here. Already used about half the time that we're looking to use today. Maybe being up on that side of the space station is making it so that the guys don't show up with their ships. It shouldn't be an issue. For some reason they don't want to show up. We just got that one wave and no more have showed up since. I'm going to give this just maybe another minute. And then we're going somewhere else. So let's see, what else is there to mention about this? Nothing I'm thinking of off the top of my head. While we're in our inventory, time is still ticking in game. I'm sort of keeping my eye right there to see if another ship comes in. I wonder. Yeah, we've got room for one more jetpack upgrade. Let's just do that while we're waiting. Just grab that. Just stick it right over there right now. There's a better way for us to organize that. We want that organized in a square pattern, but for now, we're just going to let it go. I'll talk more about that later when we have more upgrade components to work with. Alright, I don't see anybody. It's been a whole minute. Just way too long. We'll move over to another space station. We're going to make it another Gex space station. That's something I guess I could talk about while we're in our loading screen here. Beautiful rainbow colored loading screen. So, different species favor different kinds of ships. Gek favor haulers, and the Viking favor fighters, and the Korvax, these kind of machine-looking people, they favor the explorer type of ship. The way it works is in a given star system, there's 21 different kinds of ships that can show up, and 7 of them will be, I'm not sure I'm getting my numbers right, but 7 of them will be shuttles, which I haven't been able to point out to you yet in this video. And then there'll be 3 each of the other 3 kinds. 3 explorers, 3 haulers, and 3 fighters. And in addition to that, there will be another 4 of the type favored by the local dominant species, which in a Gex system it's going to be these haulers. So about half, well, not, about a third will be haulers, about a third will be shuttles. This is a shuttle here that we're looking at. And then the rest will be split between the other 2 types, not favored by the dominant species. Alright, one of the things we can do to make our time as efficient as possible is we can use our little scanner, scanning visor, whatever, to look and cherry pick the best ones. We've got 4 out here right now. We're not going to be able to salvage them all before they go away. So I picked this one first because it is an A class. And A class is going to have better upgrade modules when we salvage it. So We're going to grab that. They're also going to be a bit more expensive, and they're going to tend to have more storage spaces, which will help us with getting through this process faster. So I bought that one, and if we're concerned that we're going to have a dry spell like we had in that other one, we can just grab another one before we head up to start salvaging. So we'll grab this one here, make an offer on his ship. He's only got a B, but that's okay. You can see it's somewhat cheaper. Not a lot cheaper. Once again, it's mostly based off the storage slots that the ship has. Now, the one that we've purchased most recently will be the one that's active when we go to the salvage terminal here, the, I guess, outfitting terminal, where we do the salvage. So we're going to claim scrap. We spent a little over 10 million. We're going to get a little over 7 million. Claim that scrap. And we're not going to go and sell the salvage after each individual ship that we salvage, because that would be a waste of time. Well, look at that cute little fighter, tiny little thing, and it's an A. I'm going to grab that before it gets away. Normally I wouldn't do that. No, oh, no, it just got away. You see that? That pilot just hopped in. Eh, well, that's an explorer. Explorers you can identify by the fact they tend to have these like solar panel looking things on them. They also tend to have these kind of spindly landing gear. They're kind of bulby looking. Some of the haulers look like they've got these bulbed attachments on them, but explorers are pretty easy to identify, as are fighters. Fighters generally, like I said, have these narrow fuselage with wings. This one has one of the smallest wing factors that you will find. Anyway, that just leaves us with, I guess I haven't really shown you how you identify shuttles, but you can always just use your scanner visor. If you use that, mouse over something, it'll tell you what kind of ship it is. See, it says Hauler A on the second line on the left there. Hauler A 29 plus 4 plus 6. That lets us know what the configuration of storage slots are. Let's see what this one is. It's also an A. Let's grab that. Make an offer on the ship. That one's worth 17 million. It had lots of slots. So we've been moving a little slower than we would if we weren't explaining what we're doing as we go. We're going to claim that scrap, and then we're going to, you can see now that it's shifted to our little fighter. We don't want to salvage that, so we're going to go back down. We're going to hop in the cockpit of this hauler, which will change our primary starship. As you see, primary starship switched in the middle of the screen at the top. Now we know that when we come back here, we've actually got a ship that we want to salvage selected. It always salvages your current primary ship. When you come here, alright, so we've salvaged a number of things now. We've gotten a couple of B rank modules from the B ranked one that we salvaged, and 3 of the A rank modules from the 2 different A ranked ships that we salvaged. So we started this episode with 2,700 and some odd nanites. We talked to this guy here. We come and sell those modules, and we're going to end up making, you see this one's 946. That's because we have 2 A-ranked hyperdrive modules. It will tend to bunch them together and sell them as group. So that might be something you want to pay attention to if you actually want to keep some of these upgrade modules. But yeah, we're just going to sell all of that. So we just made like 1,000, 13, 14, maybe 1,500. Yeah, we went from 27 to 42. We made about 1,500 nanites just selling, or salvaging rather, 4 ships. All those upgrade modules are gone. All that we're left is the stuff. All that we're left with is the stuff that we're going to sell. Now we could say, let's keep some of this chromatic metal, or let's keep some of this copper. But probably going to end up selling most, if not all of it. But that, I think, does a sufficient job of covering this process. We're just going to repeat that as fast as we can. And if we're hopping up and down, salvaging as fast as we can, looking at this ship and that ship, just grabbing anything that we can, unless there's too many for us to take all at once, be able to burn through our cash pretty quickly and pick up a bunch of nanites. In my experience, about if I remember right, it's about 25,000 nanites we'll be able to pick up just doing this for an hour. This ship here is a shuttle. You can tell a shuttle by, it tends to be long and narrow, and it has this kind of, strapped to a rocket look to it. Basically we have a rocket with some fins on it and a cockpit. That's kind of what shuttles tend to look like. Shuttles are kind of basic. The only real advantage they have is they have a decreased takeoff and landing cost. But I think that is enough for today's episode. Now you can see how this process, salvaging for nanites, works. I'm going to do a bunch of it off camera. I'm going to get us up to probably 25,000 nanites or so. And then in the next episode, we will head back to the anomaly, unlock the trade goods that we need, so that we can reach the ultimate form of our trading by crafting and selling trade goods. So, thank you all for coming today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you again soon, and until then, have a great one. Bye now.